Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Yeah. So we are today going to discuss what? A very basic chapter, a very basic topic of biology. Any guesses? Yes, completely right. We are going to start the very basic chapter of biology, that is cell. Yeah. So before starting the cell, tell me one thing. What do you think what is the difference between this duster, this pen, or plant or animal or any worms? What do you think so? Yes, true. The plants, the animal, the worms are living beings, right? And rather than these things that duster, pencil, they are non-living, correct? So what makes them living and what makes them non-living? The presence of cell. Presence of cell, and here absence of cell, correct? So that means we can say that cell is the basic unit of life. Agree? Yes, definitely. Cell is the basic unit of life. So very good. Okay. Next thing, I think everybody has seen building under construction. I hope everybody must have seen. So what you have seen? What is the thing which the person use again and again to make a wall? Using the different substances, they are building a wall. What is that thing? That thing is a brick. Am I right? That thing is a brick. So how the brick is used? So many bricks are layered one above another with the help of different substances, and then they make a wall, right? And then the different walls make a what? Compartment. Different compartments make a floor. Likewise, a tall building is formed, is constructed. So if we check our body, what is that which is again and again repeatedly present in our body and making it a complete organ system, and then a living being, and then a living body? So what is that? Again, it is a cell. So can we again say that cell is a structural and functional unit of life? Yeah? Yes, definitely. We can say what? That cell is the structural and functional unit of life, correct? So I am writing it here. Structural and functional unit of life. Unit of life, okay? Fine. So these are the basic things about cell. Now let's check what is the structure of a cell. See, there are many things which will include a cell. Okay. So first of all, cells can be categorized majorly into plant cell and animal cell. Fine. So generally animal cell have no shape. Plant cell has a shape, right? Some definite shape. Correct? Why? Because it is having a rigid structure in the surrounding. Whereas animal cell is having not a rigid structure. It is just surrounded with a cell membrane. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So these all things we will discuss in another videos. Here I am going to discuss that what is the very important part inside the cell. What is a very important part of the cell, or I can say what is the head of the cell, or what is the monitor of the cell. What do you think? It is? Yes. It is the nucleus. Correct? What is that? Nucleus. Let's focus today about nucleus, its structure and its function. Fine? So, let's discuss about the very important part of the cell. We call it nucleus, right? So, here is the structure of the nucleus. How it looks like? It looks like approximately round only, and here you can see the structure is present some kind of membrane which is surrounding it. What do you call it? We call it nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. Right? So what is present in nuclear envelope? Here it is outer membrane, okay, then inner membrane, right? So what did I say? I told that nucleus is consists of nuclear envelope, which again having three parts. One is outer membrane, okay. So this outer membrane will be having lots and lots of ribosomes. Lots and lots of ribosomes. Fine. Then we have inner membrane. We have inner membrane. And this inner membrane again have some kind of proteins. We are calling it lamins. Now what is the third part? As you can see here, the membrane is not continuous. Something present in between. What is that? This is nuclear pore. What is that? This is nuclear pore. Fine. So my third part is what? Nuclear pore. What is the function of this nuclear pore? These nuclear pores are actually a path which allow the substances which is inside the nucleus to go out and which is outside the nucleus to come inside, like proteins, many other substances are there, many nucleotides are there, right? So it is something like this, going out and coming. This means what? It doesn't mean that these nuclear pores are actually allowing all the substances or any of the substance to come and go. It actually stop a few substances, okay? Why? Because they have transporters. They have nuclear transporters, and these nuclear transporters will first recognize, will first check, and then the substances, and then take them inside and outside of the nucleus. Fine. So this we will discuss in some other video. Okay. So this was about membrane. Now what is inside? Just check what is inside. We can see a very nice prominent structure inside, and we call it nucleus. What do we call? Nucleus. So fine. And the structure which we are going to discuss is nucleus. So what is nucleus doing? Again playing a very important part. Here it is actually helping in RNA synthesis. What is that? RNA synthesis. And when these RNA combine with some kind of protein, okay, they form ribosomes. Now you can see here some other substances are scattered, right? They are scattered like this. What are those? Those are chromatin. What are those? Those are chromatin. So these chromatins are present in some coiled structures. So many times we call them chromatin network also. What do we call them? Chromatin network. Again, these chromatins are of two types. A few are located in between the nucleus, in the middle of the nucleus, and they are loosely scattered. We call them, what do we call them? Euchromatin. Okay, euchromatin. Then another few are near the nuclear envelope. Those are called heterochromatin. Fine. Okay, and these are little tightly bounded with the membrane, with the nuclear membrane. Okay, so these are the one structure of the nucleus, structure of the nucleus. Okay, so what all the nucleus is going to do? What is the main motive of nucleus? So I tell you, nucleus is actually taking part in all the important function of the cell, along with a very more important part that is called cell division. That is called cell division. So what happens in cell division? The cell becomes 2 for the somatic cells, and for the reproductive cells, one cell becomes 4 after division, right? Okay. And what happens here? Here the DNA which is present in chromatin part, which are present in the chromatin part, those DNA are transferred from one cell to another cell, and these DNAs are responsible for what we are today, right? Why? Because DNA is actually what? Transporting the hereditary material. So here I want to add that chromatins are made up of DNA plus few proteins, along which histone proteins are very important. So we can say that DNA and histone makes chromatin. Fine. So when DNA is going from one cell to another cell, so how? See, one cell having a different number of DNAs. Now one cell is getting divided into 2. So those DNAs are again going to 2 other cells. That means what? DNAs are also multiplying. So when DNA becomes another DNA, okay? DNA becomes another DNA. This is called replication. What do we call it? This is called replication. A very beautiful process, which again we will discuss in some other video. DNA becomes RNA also. Yeah. So DNA becomes RNA also. Yeah. So that is called transcription. That is called transcription. Fine. So what did we learn today? We learned about cell. Cell is the basic unit of life, and we can call cell as the structure and function unit of life. In a cell, many cell organelles are present. Among that, nucleus is very important, and we call nucleus as monitor of the cell, head of the cell. When we check the structure of a nucleus, we find many different parts, many different kind of structures, and we can classify them into 3: nuclear envelope, nucleolus, and chromatin network. Or chromatin fibers also we say many times, right? So nuclear envelope is having what? Outer membrane, inner membrane, and nuclear pore. Fine. Then again we have nucleolus, which is responsible for RNA synthesis. Then about chromatin network and chromatin fibers. These are scattered inside the nucleus, and which are along with the membrane periphery. We call them heterochromatin, which is inside, almost in the between. We call them euchromatin. Fine. Function, helping in the cell division. And what happens? DNA becomes DNA after replication, and when DNA becomes RNA, that is process called transcription. Fine. So that's it for today, and we'll meet in some other videos and discussing many other important topics of the cell. Till then, bye. Take care.